Hello, and thank you for joining me. I'm Kimberlei Davis. I hope that you're well.
I don't think he's medically unfit to be president. I think he's morally unfit to be president.
You saw it here first last night on ABC. Former FBI Director James Comey broke his silence in his first one-on-one interview since he was fired by the president. Plus, Starbucks is being roasted online as protests are still brewing over this viral video.
What did they get called for? Because there are two black guys sitting here meeting me?
I sat in there the other day for an hour and no one asked me to order anything or leave.
And Dwayne Johnson's Rampage stormed to the top of the box office while Beyonce slayed at Coachella. Those trending headlines are up next, as well as your moment in history. And Martin Lawrence is celebrating a birthday today, Monday, April 16th. Former FBI Director James Comey spoke exclusively to ABC News' chief anchor George Stephanopoulos. Comey called the president, quote, morally unfit and warned that the Russians may have compromising information on the president. ABC's Arlette Saenz has a story from Washington.
It's an intensifying showdown between President Trump and the man he fired, former FBI Director James Comey.
I don't think he's medically unfit to be president. I think he's morally unfit to be president.
In an exclusive interview with ABC's George Stephanopoulos, Comey broke his silence.
Do you think the Russians have something on Donald Trump?
I think it's possible. I don't know. These are more words I never thought I'd utter about a president of the United States, but it's possible.
Comey detailed some of the most controversial moments of his career, including an alleged conversation with the president about former National Security Advisor Michael Flynn.
And that's when he asked me, said he hopes I can let it go.
And when he said that, you thought?
He's asking me to drop a criminal investigation of his now former National Security Advisor.
Was President Trump obstructing justice?
Possibly. I mean, it's certainly some evidence of obstruction of justice.
Hours before the interview, the president lashed out over Twitter. Slippery James Comey, a man who always ends up badly and out of whack, will go down as the worst FBI director in history by far. Comey also shared how torn he was about informing Congress he reopened the Hillary Clinton email investigation just 11 days before the 2016 election. Clinton argues that move cost her the White House, but Comey says he had no choice.
If you knew that letter would elect Donald Trump, you'd still send it?
I would. If I ever start considering whose political fortunes will be affected by a decision, we're done. We're just another player in the tribal battle.
No longer, no further. No longer, no further.
We're back now with Starbucks under fire. Protests breaking out after two black men were arrested after an employee asked them to leave. We have an ABC News exclusive with Starbucks' CEO posted online. But here's ABC's Lindsay Davis in Philadelphia, where more protests are planned.
What did they do?
Outrage is brewing this morning over this viral video showing two black men escorted out of a Philadelphia Starbucks in handcuffs by police.
Well, what did they do? What did they do? Did someone tell me what they did?
They didn't do anything. I saw the entire thing.
Police say the men were sitting at a table without making a purchase, and when asked to leave, they refused. That's when an employee called 911, reporting the incident as trespassing. Witnesses, including this businessman who the real estate brokers were about to meet with, say the men were discriminated against for being black.
What did they get called for? Because there are two black guys sitting here meeting me?
I sat in there the other day for an hour and no one asked me to order anything or leave. These guys were being totally calm. They never raised their voices. They never made any, physical motions or anything. They were just regular guys sitting there.
But Philadelphia's police commissioner says his officers did everything by the book.
These officers did absolutely nothing wrong. They followed policy. They did what they were supposed to do.
Anger is boiling over on social media with the hashtag boycott Starbucks. Comedian Kevin Hart is blaming the local branch, saying this is not a boycott Starbucks situation. This is horrible management. The manager on duty was wrong. It's that simple. Starbucks is now apologizing, saying the video is not representative of our Starbucks mission and values. The basis for the call to police was wrong. You can and should expect more from us.
Well, Robin, certainly with 28,000 stores around the world, different regions put in some slightly different guidelines in how they handle certain situations. In sort of reviewing this case, the guidelines that they had in place indicated a certain set of scenarios in which the police were to be called. Now, there are some scenarios where the police should be called. If there's threats or disturbance, those may be appropriate times. In this case, none of that occurred.
No charges were filed and the two men have been released. The CEO of Starbucks, Kevin Johnson, also says he likely tried to personally meet with the two men so he can apologize face to face. He says Starbucks is going to be taking a hard look at their training and practices to make sure something like this never happens again. For the latest on what's happening in Hollywood, here's ABC's Christopher Watson.
You like hanging out with animals more than people.
Yeah. Dwayne Johnson's Rampage stormed to the top of the weekend box office, opening with an estimated $34.5 million. But that's only $1.9 million more than last week's number one. The horror flick A Quiet Place made its second week out. What's even more impressive is A Quiet Place played in 512 fewer theaters than Rampage did. Beyoncé delivered an epic performance at the Coachella Festival in Indio, California Saturday night, highlighted by surprise Destiny's Child reunion. Kelly Rowland and Michelle Williams joining Beyoncé for 3 songs. Beyoncé also thanked the crowd for, as she put it, allowing me to be the first black woman to headline Coachella. The hashtag Baychella was still trending as of Sunday night. Writer, producer, actor, rapper, and now Saturday Night Live host and musical guest. Look for Donald Glover to do double duty May 5th. It'll be his first time on the show.
I heard you by the bridge. I know what a girl sound like.
On this day in 1962, Walter Cronkite made his debut as an anchorman for the CBS Evening News. Happy birthday if you're celebrating today. You share the day with comedian Martin Lawrence. He's 53. 2.5 Men actor John Cryer is also 53, and Grammy Award-winning rapper Chance the Rapper is 25. Well, that's our time for today. You've been watching What's Trending. The news continues online at abccolumbia.com and on our mobile app. I'm Kimberlei Davis. Be kind to each other. Make it a great Monday, and thanks for watching.
Dancing with the Stars Athletes, a 4-week live event begins April 30th on ABC.